What y'all talking about? What y'all talking about? What y'all talking about? What y'all talking? What y'all talking about? What y'all talking about? What y'all talking about?
If you ain't talking the real, then we ain't gon' talk to ya.
What y'all talking about? What y'all talking about?
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy T-Man, aka T-Mandible, BKA Anthony Hood.
If you ain't talking the real,
And I'm just Nicole. How you guys doing? This is WYTAP coming at you.
Yeah, so we got a good show today. We got a good person here. He's an attorney.
Yes, sir. And
we're going to be asking questions about himself. You know, the book that he wrote is really nice, I hear. And if you guys got any questions to ask him, go right ahead. You know?
All right, so we are going to introduce our friend and Mr. TheArthur Duncan.
Hey, how we doing? Hey, everybody.
Yeah.
So, tell us about yourself.
Originally from South Central Los Angeles, California. Primarily raised here in Buffalo, and back and forth. I actually did 3 years in federal prison. So I was selling drugs. After 3 years in federal prison, I got out, went back to school, found out I could still become an attorney even with a felony. And I became an attorney back in 2013. So I've been an attorney for 6 years. 2 years ago, I wrote my autobiography, which is called Felon-Attorney. Tells a story about my upbringing here in Buffalo, high school in LA, and then hustling on the streets in Buffalo, going to federal prison, and then getting out, going to law school, and so on and so forth.
Now, okay, Mr. Hoof has some questions, so I'll wait. Go ahead.
Shoot.
So how long you been a lawyer?
6 years.
6 years. And for the people who actually want to become a lawyer, how long is the schooling? What are the steps they need to take to become a lawyer? Even if they have a felon, like you said, you was
Yeah, well, the fact that I still became an attorney, even with a felony, is you have to go by the state bar. Each state has different parameters, whether you can still practice as a felon. Luckily, New York State is discretionary. I had to go in front of a committee. It's called the Character and Fitness Committee. However, I couldn't go in front of this committee until I had finished all the prerequisite steps.
Okay.
So they could have told me no. So after I graduated with my bachelor's, went to law school, got my Juris Doctorate, passed the New York State Bar, then I had to go in front of the Character and Fitness Committee. This is like a 7 to 8 year process. And they could have told me no.
Right.
And so my thing was worst case scenario, I would still have a Juris Doctorate, and I would have been given the job from there, even if they would have told me no and I couldn't practice.
Right.
But luckily, but I was blessed that along the way, I started acquiring people in my corner and people that wrote me letters of recommendation, judges, my pastor, political people. They wrote letters and they vouched for me. And when I got to Character and Fitness Committee, they okayed me.
Oh, that's beautiful. That really is.
That's nothing
beautiful.
but God right there.
Wow. Just like Judge Mathis, like you say, he was all on the streets. He knew about all that, and look at him now.
With Judge Mathis, his stuff was YO. I don't think he ever actually went to prison.
Okay.
I actually did 3 years in federal prison in Allenwood, Pennsylvania. And so when I got out, halfway house, when I got out of jail, all I had was a high school diploma. And the streets was still waiting for me.
Yeah, the streets always there.
Because when I did my bid, I didn't get in trouble with the guys I was running with. So when I got out, they were still out in the streets hustling. So they was picking me up from the halfway house and basically like asking me when I was gonna get back into the game. And God had another plan for me. So I went the better route.
Right.
Now, quick question. What made you decide to be an attorney? Was it when you was inside or What sparked that?
Yeah, everybody asked me, oh, you must have been in the law library while you was in jail. And I was like, no, I wasn't in the law library, nothing. While I was in jail, I was basically concentrating on myself, trying to be obedient to God and to listen to Him. Because what happened was I had some signs that I didn't adhere to, that I ignored while I was on the streets. The guy was trying to get my attention. I got jumped. You can see scars on my head. I almost lost my eye. I had a minister basically prophesied that I was going to get stabbed. And I didn't actually get stabbed. What happened was I got jumped, and my friend stabbed like 3 dudes that were like jumping.
Wow.
So, I mean, that was like God was really trying to get my attention. And so I got out of prison. I just wanted to do the right thing. And I was always smart, but I never wanted to be like the smart guy. I wanted to be in the in crowd. I wanted to play ball, play basketball. I thought I was going to the NBA. I wanted to be a rapper. I wanted to be, the cool kid, what have you. But my A game was I was smart.
Right.
But I didn't want to be smart because I was the
be
nerd dude. You know what I'm saying? So
you just wanted to dumb it down for everybody else.
Yeah.
Sort of like for their approval, or
I mean, my name is TheArthur, and it was like having my name being TheArthur and being smart. That's like nerd written all over it. So that's why it was like I go by Tone because I wanted to be cool. My middle name is Anthony, so I wanted to be cool. So that got me kind of back to Buffalo to live with my grandparents. On the streets that my grandparents lived on, my grandparents owned like 5 houses in a row. So Buffalo to live with my grandparents. On the streets that my grandparents lived on, my grandparents owned like 5 houses in a row. So what nothing owned like 5 houses in a row. So what nothing but family.
Okay.
So I love Buffalo. I didn't like LA. So I was back and forth. Wind up, I graduated 8th grade here in Buffalo. Then I went out LA high school. And that was in the 80s when all the Crips and Bloods and all that at their peak.
Wow.
And so I lived in a Blood neighborhood in Inglewood, but I went to school in South Central with Crips. So I was supposed to be wearing red in my neighborhood, but you know what I mean? When I go to school, I was supposed to be wearing blue. So I was dealing with that. So I was dealing with that dynamic. And then at the same time, I hate to always bring this up because I seen this individual a little while ago. My brother's father, he started doing cocaine real bad. It's called a freebasing back then. And he started, jumping on my mom's and breaking in the house, stealing stuff, keeping us up in the middle of the night, so on and so forth. The gangbangers threatened to kill him and my mom's if his drug debt wasn't paid, so on and so forth. So I was dealing with that. And finally, when that kind of ended, I was like 19. I had finished high school in LA, so I decided to come back to Buffalo. Just a kind of little break. I didn't plan to stay.
Right.
But I was like, let me get away from all this, let's catch a break. Came back to Buffalo. All the dudes I grew up with down the way, 31 area of Buffalo, they were all hustling. And so I was like, it's one thing you always tell yourself you would never do. But you hang around with 8 drug dealers, you bound to be a knife one.
Right,
so slowly but surely, I started selling a little marijuana. I had my oldest son. Now I had an additional mouth to feed.
Right.
So next thing you know, now I'm on a block selling crack.
Oh.
Okay.
So, and I ran the streets of Buffalo, good 10 years hustling, selling drugs, living a life, traveling, landing in New York, all that, spending money, throwing away money, doing a lot of foolishness. I got indicted by the feds in 98 over a phone conversation with this guy from the Bronx who was outside my crew. That's why I saw my crew, they didn't get in trouble. I got in trouble.
Right.
So wind up taking a plea to 46 months. Then I did 3 years and got out halfway house. Sorry, just to answer your question. So
that's good.
Yeah, so
you was informing us. You was giving us the timeline.
So when I got out of jail and I was driving the van, We Care van.
Okay.
And I was like, this is not a career move.
Right.
I got to do something, I got to use my God-given talent, which was I was smart. So I was like, let me enroll in school and see if I can put some letters behind my name to kind of deflect this felony I got. Because I'm a felony for life now.
Right.
So I graduated from ECC with associates. I had like a 3.78 GPA, and
That's awesome.
I was working like 70 hours a week driving a van because they was giving me unlimited hours. I got cool with this professor by the name of Gene Graff. He asked me, it's like, TheArthur, you're doing well. You're doing so well in school. You're about to graduate. You're on the dean's list. What are you going to do after you leave here? And I was like, well, I always wanted to be a lawyer, but I know I can't now. And he was like, well, why not? And I told him that I was a felon. I did 3 years in federal prison. And he said, does that stop you from becoming an attorney?
Wow.
And so I assumed that it did. And that's why I tell everybody, don't assume anything.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? You got to look into it. You know what I'm saying? Do the research, see what you can do and can't do. So he volunteered to do the research for me. Came back and told me, he was like, TheArthur, there's good news for you and bad news. And I was like, well, what's the good news? He said, the good news is that you can still become an attorney in New York State with a felon. And with a felony. And I was like, well, what's the bad news? He said, the bad news is that in order for you to become an attorney, you have to go in front of this character and fitness committee. But you're not going to know which way they're going to say yay or nay until you graduate from, get your bachelor's, your Juris Doctorate, pass the bar, amass all this debt from school and all that. Then you get in front of this committee and they can tell you no.
Right.
And basically he asked me, was I willing to take that chance?
Right.
And I told him, hey, with God's grace, I can do it.
Right.
And so along the way, so I start getting into a better circle of people and start doing, start doing better things. So then I start meeting judges. I interned for Judge Ogden, who was my mentor and a very close friend. She's like an aunt to me. She's a Supreme Court judge right now. Also, Judge Hanna, I met him. Councilman Damone Smith helped me. Assemblywoman Crystal Peoples helped me. These are people that along the way, Mayor Brown, these are people along the way that helped me along the way. And when it was time for me to go in front of that Character and Fitness Committee, they called all these people because they wrote letters of recommendation. They called these people and they say, yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
That's awesome. You see how your circle changed?
Yeah, exactly.
And when you change that circle and when you listen to God, oh, that's awesome. Now look at you.
Yeah. Very successful.
Awesome.
Oh, man.
So, you got any more questions?
Go ahead.
All right.
Say what you got
so,
to say.
I know doing all of that how you said it changed and being obedient, that is the most powerful thing. Because now, what's your next goal? Because I know you didn't just stop right there.
No. My next goal is working on another book. It's a Christian book. It's kind of like it's for individuals that's just turning to God. It's kind of like give them some clarity when they first start coming to church. I'm working on that book. Also, I'm looking to maybe sometime in the future running for a judge.
Okay.
Wow.
Let's put that in the atmosphere. Yes.
I mean, the only thing that's kind of preventing me at this point is that I live in the suburbs outside the city of Buffalo, and a judgeship that will become open would be in the city. So I would have to establish a residency in Buffalo, in the city first. So I have to pick up the family and move and be in Buffalo at least 2 years before I can run for judge. So this decision I have to make with my family and see whether it's something that I want to do, uproot the family and move back inside the city limits of Buffalo.
Which part of courts do you want to?
Oh, Buffalo City Court. I want to be right there in criminal part, Buffalo City Court, and sit on the bench.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. Do you know if any judges are on their way out? Because I know it's a certain amount of time for them to stay in.
Yeah. There's some terms that's coming up in the next 2-3 years. People will be up, and also there's always what happens is some of the Buffalo City Court judges, they may move up to county or supreme.
Okay.
So that creates an opening.
Okay.
So you kind of never know. Some people are they age out. It's like Judge McLeod, he's aged out. Even though he just ran and won again, he has to retire next year because of his age. So that opened up a judgeship. So it may be some other judges that may be aging out. I believe Judge Russell may be aging out real soon. And people terms are ending. And then, like I said, some judges, they may go up to county or Supreme Court, and that leaves a sliding city court open.
Okay.
Nice.
Well, you guys heard it here. Anything else you want to say? Have your
No.
book for a minute? Look, this is his book. This is his book. Okay.
Felon-Attorney is available
Alright.
on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. You also can get it on my website, which is www.felon-attorney.com. If you order it from me, I'll sign it for you. Get an autographed copy.
Now, what do you do? I know you said you're an attorney, but elaborate to them what cases you take. And about that case, you and your partner, Sam, and I forgot the other.
Anthony Pendergrass?
Yes. Talk about it.
Okay.
Next question.
Well, the funny thing is, originally when I was in law school, the mayor hired me as a law clerk for the city of Buffalo.
Okay.
And when I passed the bar, they hired me as an attorney for the city. As an attorney for the city, I did civil litigation and defended the city when people sued the city. And when I say defending the city, I mean all the city departments, which includes the police department. So here you have an ex-felon that's now defending the police department when people suing the police for for excessive force, a lot of police accidents. There's a lot of accidents, like police put their sirens on, they're headed for a call, like fire trucks and all that. People don't stop, and then there's accidents. So I would defend the city when people would sue the city. So I did that for 3.5 years. And after a while, I was like, it wasn't what I wanted to do. I want to go out on my own. Criminal law was my heart, was my passion. So, but I had to step out on faith. I had I had a job with health benefits and pension and all that, and to quit that and to go out on my own, with a wife and kids. Yeah, that's that leap. And so, I had to step out on faith and started my own practice about 3 years ago. And I'm doing criminal law, mostly criminal law. I do some personal injury and some family law. But criminal law, it puts money on the table. Puts food on the table. There's a lot of stuff going on in the city of Buffalo. But more than that, the question you asked, me and two other attorneys, Sam Davis, we defended a young lady in Mayville, and it was a murder case out of Dunkirk. And this young lady shot through the door and killed her boyfriend by mistake. She thought it was her husband, who had just got out of jail, who was threatening her and her boyfriend. And she was scared. She was at home by herself. Her boyfriend left her some protection. The guy, he had kidnapped her before. Her ex-husband had kidnapped her before. Then he got out of jail, and she was scared that he was coming back to get her. It was just her and the kids in the house. So basically, she shot a warning shot through the door, and come to find out it wasn't her husband, it was her boyfriend coming back. So she was charged with murder. So we was able to prove that this wasn't nothing intentional, that you had a battered woman basically trying to protect herself, and it wasn't an intentional act. She just shot through the door. So she was found guilty on the murder, but she did get convicted of the weapons possession.
Okay.
So
because it wasn't registered?
Yeah, because she still used the weapon. So she wind up getting 5 years. And so out of the 5 years, she probably had to serve probably about, I think it's you got to do 85% for a violent felony. So she probably did 2.5 years out of the 5.
Okay. Now, break it down for the levels. Felony, misdemeanor, just for some people that do not know. What can be held against them and what can jobs ask now? Because didn't they just pass something saying you cannot ask certain questions on
the application? Yeah, they passed a law locally taking that question off applications.
Okay.
But I mean, for certain jobs, though, it's still not going to stop them from doing the background check. A violation is the three types of things that you can get convicted of are violations, misdemeanors, and felonies. Now, violations are equivalent to a traffic ticket. Violations by operation of law supposed to drop off your record within a year. Albany is slow, but by operation of law, sometimes you have to call Albany and say, why is this violation still coming up on my record? Okay. But a violation is what we call a non-criminal disposition. It's not a crime. So stuff like disorderly conduct and stuff like that, those are violations. You have things called ACDs. That's something. ACD stands for adjournment in contemplation of dismissal. So that means in 6 months, it's automatically dismissed. Then you have the automatic dismissal where the prosecution just don't want to pursue the charges. After that, you have misdemeanors. You have unclassified misdemeanors. Unclassified misdemeanors are like 511, which are like driving without license.
Okay.
Then you have misdemeanors all the way up to A misdemeanors. A misdemeanor is punishable for up to like a year in the county. Very rarely will you get a year in the county, especially if you don't have any priors. You got B misdemeanors. Then you get up to the felony level, which starts from B felonies all the way up to A1 felonies, which is stuff like murders and stuff.
Okay. Well, hi, Rob. Thanks for tuning in. Any other questions?
My man. The book, though. We can get back to the book. What's mainly about the book is about mainly what you explained earlier, or about your life? Basically, it's just
in detail. I wrote the book primarily because people use being a felon as a crutch, as an excuse.
Right.
That I'm a felon. I can't do nothing.
Somebody asked that question earlier.
Yeah. So. I wrote it, and it's basically like, when I do a lot of speaking with youths and individuals that's in probation. Like I go to the U.S. Probation Department a lot to speak to the people that just come out of jail and speak with them. And basically, again, I'm trying to remove excuses. So they like, they call me Tone. Like, Tone, I can't, do nothing. I'm a felon. I said, well, I'm a felon. But Tone, I got a family. Well, I got a family. Or Tone, I'm too old. I'm too old. I graduated from law school at the age of 42 with a wife and 4 kids. So you can't give me no excuses. You know what I'm saying? I'm from the, well, Tone, I'm from the hood. I'm from the hood. You know what I'm saying? I grew up on Emsley Street, E-Block, down the way, 31. And I'm from South Central. Right. So I'm from the inner parts of the city, whether you want to call me from LA, from Buffalo, I'm from the inner city. Right. And I did it. So you can't let that stop me. The age. It's never too late to, to go back to school, and pursue your dreams. You just have to do it. You can't just sit on your hands. You have to make a conscious effort to do whatever you want to do and pursue it. And sometimes, like I tell people, you may not know what you want to do, just like me. I got into school not knowing that I would become an attorney, but you got to put yourself in the right position. And then God will steer you in the direction He wants you to go. But you gotta get in the game. You know what I'm saying? You gotta start somewhere. And
not say I can't do it because. No. You can't use that because as a crutch.
You can't. And then while you sitting around saying I can't, then a year go by, and then another year go by. And you could have finished, you could have had your associates by now while you sitting around saying I can't. Right. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, you gotta prepare yourself so when the opportunity comes along, then, you know what I'm saying, you're prepared. You're preparing yourself. You know what I'm saying? And I also tell people, distinguish yourself. Mm-hmm. So what I mean by that is that find your niche. Find something that you do well or just as well as anybody else. So when they looking for somebody in that subject matter or something, let me call so-and-so. Yes. You know what I mean? If you're a good plumber, be the best plumber in Buffalo. Right. So then when they need an issue or plumbing issue come in, they calling you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Distinguish yourself. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you have to do, and is make a name for yourself. And you have. And another thing I tell people is you have to be patient. It's like I didn't start off selling bricks when I was hustling. You know what I'm saying? I started off on the block selling nickel dime bags of crack and worked my way up. So now, you know what I mean, in this atmosphere, and now when you try to do things in the right way, even if you are working at a job or whatever you're doing, you got to start from the ground up.
Right.
You got to be patient, do the work, you know what I'm saying, and then work your way into it and earn your title, earn what you're doing.
Right.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying, and it come. You know what I'm saying. You just have to be patient.
Yeah, and don't be scared to jump.
Just keep pushing.
Make that move. Right.
Yes. The name of the book is Felon-Attorney, and it's by TheArthur Duncan II, ESQ.
Yeah, the link is going to be in on our website page, and we could put the link in right after we do the video here too. It can be on the Facebook page also.
TheArthur
And where you can get it from.
Duncan II is called Felon-Attorney. You can find it on Amazon, his website, and Barnes and Noble. Well,
also mascotbooks.com, which is my publisher.
He everywhere.
You find it there.
That's beautiful.
and then if you visit our church, you could just plug on in and he'll have some in his car. You know,
Doris Records. Doris Records, my man Big Pete got some. So.
See, can you guys see it? That's what it looks like.
Nice.
And now if they want to get in touch with you in case they have a case and hire you, how can they reach you?
716-436-3214. That's my office number again. 716-436-3214. Or a lot of people just inbox me on Facebook.
Right.
I get a lot of my business. I get on Messenger. People inbox me all the time.
Direct contact.
Yeah, I'm reachable.
And what's your Facebook name?
TheArthur Duncan.
Okay, you guys heard that?
TheArthur Duncan on Facebook, on Instagram. On Instagram it's TheArthur ESQ.
Okay.
Yeah, TheArthur ESQ on Instagram.
Oh, our church is First Calvary Missionary Baptist Church with our pastor, Elder Jason Drayton. Yes, the Holy Spirit visits us every time we have service.
You hear she giving you the plug.
What?
Where we go?
God moves in a mighty way. Yes.
And Pastor Jay was very, very instrumental in me becoming an attorney. As a matter of fact, when I went to the character and fitness meeting when I was trying to get licensed, the first thing that I had, there was a group of people, probably about 90 people. So everybody has to go through the character and fitness.
Okay.
Everybody that passed the bar. So you sit in this big room and they call everybody one by one. And so I kind of knew they was going to call me last because I figured, you know what I mean, of course I got issues. So the guy called me in the room, and the first thing he asked me was who was my pastor that wrote this stunning letter of character reference letter for me. He was like, who was your pastor? The letter he wrote was incredible. So
pastor with them words.
Yeah.
Yes. Awesome. Well, the church is First Calvary Missionary Baptist Church, Jefferson and William Street, right by the McDonald's and Rite Aid.
Yep.
Okay. Any other questions?
No, man.
Anything else you want to say?
Beautiful.
No. I mean, if you got a felony and you think that's stopping you from doing something type of career, look into it. I had some friends that became registered nurses as felons. So people told them, gave them some bad information, saying you couldn't do it. You can get financial aid as a felon. I did it, so don't let someone tell me you can't get financial aid when you go to school. I did. You can become a nurse. It's just discretionary depending on what your crime is, whether you still can become a nurse. So if it's discretionary, look into it. And by God's grace, I mean, you could do it. Now, if it's a bar, if New York State said you can't do it, then you might have to pursue something else. But if it's discretionary, it's up to a board or a committee, and they can decide whether you can do it or not. Then by all means, I say, go for it.
Okay. See, don't let anything stop you. When God says something and God makes a plan for you, you follow through on it. Be obedient to Him, and now look, doors opening.
Right.
Well, we put it in the atmosphere for the judge, God willing, if that's the calling for him to. Look, because, look, a lot of them need to be moved, and God is putting the right ones in position now, okay?
Right.
Change your circle for a better outcome.
Right.
Well, thank you for coming. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.
And everything.
My pleasure. My
Anything
pleasure.
Knocking at the door. My kids are knocking at the door.
They not going no. They not going no.
No, and they still knocking.
15 degrees outside. They like, yo.
Oh,
I think that's all our kids. But you said so.
Right.
But our time. But Mom, I know.
Yeah,
Trust me, I know. They don't care if we conduct a business or anything. They'll be like, look.
No. I have studio sessions and they come kick in the door. Hey, what's up? Oh, just messed this take up. What's going on?
But we love our kids.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Well, again, we do thank you for stopping in. We know your schedule is busy, so he took time out to go ahead.
Yeah, I got to run and get my kids. So again, it was my pleasure.
Thank
man.
you.
All right.
All right.
Right.
And we will see you on
Definitely see you
Sunday.
Definitely on Sunday.
You know.
All right.
What y'all talking about? What y'all talking about? What y'all talking about? What y'all talking? What y'all talking about? What y'all talking about? What y'all talking about?
If you ain't talking the real, then we ain't gon' talk to ya.
What y'all talking about? What y'all talking about? What y'all talking? What y'all talking about? What y'all talking about? What y'all talking about?
If you ain't talking the real, then we ain't gon' talk to ya.